Good morning. In the last lecture, we talked about graphical representation of quotient of complex numbers. Next article is multiplication of a complex number z with I or product of. Product of I with z. What is I? It is imaginary character. I is equal to square root of minus 1. What is z? Z is a complex number. And what we want to do here, we want to take product of this imaginary character with the complex number z. So let us consider the complex number z. Complex number z is specified in terms of an ordered pair of real variables x comma y in rectangular form, in exponential form, in polar form. Then I. What is this I? This I is square root of minus 1. Imaginary character. When we are dealing with this article, we don't want to use value of I as square root of minus 1. If we use value of I square root of minus 1, it will be simply square root of minus 1 into z. Meaningless. And therefore, we don't use this value here. Instead, I want to use value of I in the form of trigonometric functions. Instead of using this value for I want to use value for I in the form of trigonometric functions. For example, I is equal to cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. I is equal to cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. Equation number 2. Whether equation 2 is correct, I is equal to cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2, whether equation 2 is correct. Let us verify whether it is correct or not. What is cos pi by 2? Cos pi by 2 is cos 90 degree. And what is cos 90 degree? 0 plus I. What is sin pi by 2? Sin 90 degree. And what is sin 90 degree? It is plus 1 into 1, that is equal to 0 plus I, that is equal to I. It means that equation 2 written for I in terms of trigonometric functions sin and cos is correct. I, which is generally given by square root of minus 1. In equation 2, it is given by cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2, and it is correct. So let us use this form of I and this complex number z and get product of these two. So product of these two will be I into z is equal to cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2 in one bracket into, in the other bracket, r cos theta plus I sin theta. This r is in multiplication with this bracket as well as with this bracket. It can be taken common. R is taken common. Now, let us have product of cos pi by 2 with this and with this. That is cos pi by 2 into cos theta plus I cos pi by 2 into sin theta plus. Now let us have product of this term with this, and that is I sin pi by 2 cos theta plus I square sin pi by 2 into sin theta. I is square root of minus 1. What will be I square? It will be minus. So what we do? Let us remove this plus I square and just put a minus sign. Reason is, since I square is equal to minus 1. As I square is equal to minus 1, this plus I square is replaced by minus. This is real part, this is real part. These two real parts can be taken together. This is imaginary part, this is imaginary part. From this imaginary part and from this imaginary part, I can be taken common, and this can be taken in one bracket. That is r into in the square bracket So, in the first bracket, cos pi by 2 into cos theta minus sin pi by 2 into sin theta plus I into, in the second bracket, cos pi by 2 into sin theta plus sin pi by 2 into cos theta. What is the property in the first bracket? It is cos pi by 2 plus theta. What is property in the second bracket? It is sin pi by 2 plus theta, and therefore Iz is equal to R into cos pi by 2 plus theta plus I into sin pi by 2 plus theta, equation number 3. This is product of imaginary term I and the complex number z. And what is that? R into cos pi by 2 plus theta plus I sin pi by 2 plus theta, or this may be R into e to the power I pi by 2 plus theta. What is meaning of this? What conclusion we can draw from equations 3 and 4? Observe equations 3 and 4 and try to get some conclusion from this. What conclusion can be drawn from equations 3 and 4? If we have a close look into equations 3 and 4, we find that when a complex number z is multiplied by imaginary part I, we get a complex number. We get a complex number which is rotated through 90 degree in the positive sense. When any complex number is multiplied by the imaginary part I, the product is a complex number, but this is the complex number which is rotated through 90 degree in the anti-clockwise direction. It means that whenever any complex number is multiplied by imaginary term I, that complex number get rotated through 90 degree in the anti-clockwise direction or in the positive sense. What conclusion we can draw from equations 3 and 4? Equations 3 and 4 is the result of product of imaginary term I and the complex number z. And what is the result? The result is we got the same complex number z, but we note a difference. What difference we note? The same complex number z is rotated through angle 90 degree in the positive sense or in the anti-clockwise direction when z is multiplied with I. So whenever a complex number z is multiplied with imaginary term I, we get the same complex number, but that complex number get rotated. That complex number get rotated through angle 90 degree in the positive direction or in the anti-clockwise direction. It means that whenever we multiply any complex number z by imaginary term I rotates that complex number through 90 degree in the positive sense or in the anti-clockwise direction. This conclusion can be drawn when we have product of an imaginary term I and a complex number z. This is about multiplication or product of the term I, the imaginary term I and a complex number z. Hope you got it. And what next is properties of moduli of complex numbers. Now 3 articles are left. First article is having 4 subarticles. The next one is having, I think, 2 subarticles, and the last one is having 5 subarticles. Next article is properties of moduli of complex numbers. After that, properties of arguments of complex numbers, and finally geometry of complex numbers. Properties of moduli of complex number will have 4 subarticles. Properties of argument of complex numbers will have 2 subarticles. Geometry of complex numbers will have 5 subarticles. Of course, it is not possible to complete one article in one lecture. The properties of moduli of complex numbers may need 2 lectures. Properties of arguments of complex numbers may be completed in one lecture. Geometry of complex numbers may need 2 lectures. So, without wasting time, let us start the next article, properties of moduli of complex numbers. Properties of moduli of complex numbers. Let us go to the first property. In real sense, we already studied this property. This property is about the product of complex numbers. Properties of moduli of complex numbers. We are going to first study property of moduli of complex numbers when we take product or multiplication of 2 complex numbers. We have done this many times in this chapter, and what we found, again we are going to do it here. What property we found? We found that modulus of product of 2 complex numbers, modulus of product of 2 complex numbers is equal to product of their moduli. Modulus of product of 2 complex numbers is equal to product of their moduli. Let us verify this property once more in this article. To verify this property once more in this article, let us consider 2 complex numbers. So, let us consider 2 complex numbers, Z1 given in all forms, Z2 given in all forms. Let us have a product of these 2. So Z, a complex number, product of two complex numbers Z1 and Z2. Z1 is this into Z2 is this, or Z1 is this R2 into this is Z2. What is product of these two? This one R1 R2 e to the power I theta 1 plus theta 2. What is product of these two? We found many times. It is R1 R2 into in the square root of cos theta 1 plus theta 2 plus I sin theta 1 plus theta 2. Modulus of Z is equal to modulus of Z1 into Z2, that is R1 into R2 modulus of this, that will be cos square theta 1 plus theta 2 plus, or let me put as it is first, R1 R2 will come outside as it is. What will come out for this? In the definition of complex numbers, we found what is the modulus. If a complex number Z is represented by x plus iy, its modulus is modulus of Z is equal to square root of x square plus y square. R1 R2 will come outside automatically, and square root of x square plus y square will be cos square theta 1 plus theta 2 plus sin square theta 1 plus theta 2. What is cos square theta plus sin square theta? It is 1. If cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1, cos square theta 1 plus theta 2 plus sin square theta 1 plus theta 2 is also 1. So this term will be square root of 1. This is R1 into R2 into square root of 1, because cos square theta 1 plus theta 2 plus sin square theta 1 plus theta 2 is 1. This is nothing but R1 into R2, or finally what I can write is modulus of Z is equal to modulus of Z1 into Z2 is equal to R1 into R2 is equal to modulus of Z1 into modulus of Z2, equation number 3. Now let us have a close look in equation 3. What do we find? Modulus of product of two complex numbers is equal to product of their moduli. So in the first property, what statement we gave? For first property of properties of moduli of complex numbers, the first statement we gave is modulus of product of two complex numbers is equal to product of their moduli. The same thing is verified here. Modulus of product of two complex numbers is equal to product of their moduli is equal to product of their moduli. So first property of moduli of complex numbers is verified. The second property of moduli of complex numbers is about the quotient. So let me put here number 2 property, second property of moduli of complex numbers. And what is the second property? The statement for second property of modulus of complex numbers is Modulus of quotient of two complex numbers is equal to quotient of their moduli. Modulus of division of two complex numbers is equal to division of their moduli. Again, we want to verify this statement. To verify this statement, what we do? Let us consider first complex number z1 is equal to x1 comma iy1 plus x1 comma y1, that is x1 plus iy1, that is r1 into cos theta 1 plus I sin theta 1, that is r1 into e to the power I theta 1, equation number 1. Secondly, let us consider z2 is equal to x2 comma y2 is equal to x2 plus iy2 is equal to r2 into cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2, that is nothing but r2 into e to the power I theta 2, equation number 2. Equations 1 and 2 are representing the complex numbers z1 and z2 in all forms. Let us have division of these two complex numbers. z1 divided by z2. r1 e to the power I theta 1 divided by r2 e to the power I theta 2. This will be r1 divided by r2 cos theta 1 plus I theta 1 divided by cos theta 2 plus I theta 2. And next what we have is z is equal to z1 divided by z2 is equal to r1 divided by r2 into e to the power I into theta 1 minus theta 2. r1 by r2, this e to the power I theta 2 from the denominator taken to the numerator, it will become e to the power minus I theta 2. I taken common, what left in the bracket is theta 1 minus theta 2, or in this form it will be r1 by r2 cos theta 1 minus theta 2 plus I sin theta 1 minus theta 2. Modulus of z is equal to modulus of z1 divided by z2 is equal to r1 divided by r2 into modulus of this cos theta 1 minus theta 2 plus I sin theta 1 minus theta 2, that is r1 by r2 into inside the square root cos square theta 1 minus theta 2 plus sin square theta 1 minus theta 2. And what is this square root? Cos square theta plus sin square theta, that is 1. So finally what we have, modulus of z is equal to modulus of z1 divided by z2 is equal to simply r1 by r2. This r1 is nothing but modulus of z1, this r2 is nothing but modulus of z2. This square root is simply 1. Equation number 3. Let us have a close look into equation 3. If you have a close look into equation 3, what you will find? You will find that modulus of z. What is modulus of z? Modulus of quotient of complex numbers z1 and z2, which is equal to quotient of their moduli. Modulus of division of two complex numbers is equal to division of their moduli. Modulus of quotient of two complex numbers is equal to quotient of their moduli. So, the second property of moduli of complex numbers, that is modulus of quotient or division of two complex numbers is equal to division or quotient of their moduli, is also verified here. As I told, this article has 4 sub-articles. 2 of these are studied in this lecture. Remaining 2 may need more than 1 lecture. So, it is better to stop here. We shall continue tomorrow. Thank you.